Weathering with You was an interesting movie, and surprisingly, it was quite different from its predecessor, Your Name. Last month, I finally got the opportunity to watch this movie, and before doing an in depth analysis of the various themes of this movie, I thought that I should make one particular video surrounding its ending, since I found out that a lot of people are confused about it, or simply speaking, have misinterpreted the meaning. Anyway, so welcome to this video of Wonder WhyZ, where I'll talk about the ending of Makoto Shinkai's Tenki no Ko, or Weathering with You. Now, of course, this video will contain spoilers for the movie, so you have been warned beforehand. So, Makoto Shinkai is generally known for making bittersweet endings or simply devastating endings. I still cannot get over the sad ending of 5 cm per second. However, it was only in Your Name that he finally changed his formula and gave Mitsuha and Taki a good ending. So naturally, before the release of Weathering with You, people were wondering that what kind of an ending would it have, especially considering the natural disaster-like subplot that were being hinted by the trailers. Now of course at the very end of the movie, Hadoka reunites with a sobbing Hina. All seems good for this couple. After all, they finally met each other after 3 long years. However, this movie is not exactly a happy ending, so to speak, because the cost of their actions is quite huge, as now Tokyo is almost completely submerged in water, and it has rained non-stop for almost 3 years now. Thus the consequences of their actions have drastic effect upon the whole world. Moreover, this movie is not an absolute heartbreaker too, since in the end they finally get to be together against all the odds. Thus the movie has rightfully found the sweet middle ground of storytelling narrative while transcending the film screen's real issues into the real world with its very real issues. Also, after reading various comments on YouTube, Reddit and Twitter, I understood that a lot of people had misunderstood or rather misinterpreted the actions of Hadoka. Let me explain why and how. So a common notion behind these comments stem from the quote, "Who cares if we can't see any sunshine? I want you more than any blue sky." People have misunderstood this as Hadoka having negative and destructive tendencies, all the while equating his actions to that of Taki from Your Name. While this sounds funny as a meme, but the assumption that Taki saved a city for his love, while Hadoka destroyed a city for his love, is totally wrong allegory. Now if you have seen previous works of Shinkai, then you must know that he is very fond of utilizing mythology and old cultures, customs and basically the heritage of Japan and the Oriental world. He did this even in Your Name, like the concept of the red threads of fate and musubi. Similarly in Tenki no Ko, the story of the Weather Maiden is utilized along with other historical events. It is specified that throughout the history, mankind has relied on these mysterious powers of the Weather Maidens, but their lives were full of tragedies because ultimately they had to pay a big price for tampering with the natural course of life to provide pleasures to other people. Moreover, it is even mentioned by Taki's grandmother that many centuries ago, Tokyo was all ocean, so in a way, they are just returning to how things were before. So thus we can see that even without the involvement from Hina and Hadoka, Tokyo would still have returned to the marshy state in due course of time. They simply made a choice to live for their own life rather than sacrificing their lives for the sake of people who are corrupt and don't respect them at all. Throughout the movie, Shinkai has dealt with some really mature and saddening storylines that are quite relevant in the very real world. Now of course natural disaster and man-made problems are a huge part of this particular story, but one particular theme that also affects the ending of this movie is being heavily overlooked by many. The very reason why Hadoka chooses Hina's life over others' life was because of the way the whole city treated with her. This movie is a critical satire about the hypocrisies of the law and order, and this was quite a big factor why Hadoka chooses Hina's life over everyone else. You see, towards the beginning, the police is searching for Hadoka because he had escaped his home. That's fine, but they encounter the manager of that club with whom Hadoka had the gun incident. But instead of confronting that guy for literally trying to recruit Hina, an underage girl, into an adult bar cum brothel, the police and the detectives leave him just as it is. No consequences at all for him. Also, the whole police department of the city is after them. Why? Just because Hina loves her brother and she does not want to leave him for foster care. These themes are the central plot of the story and a grim reality of the real world as well. Moreover, this later on plays a big part in Haruka's choice. And this particular movie is all about the choices that we make. Now, Hina was putting the happiness of the city before her own happiness. And in the process, she was slowly giving up her own life. Haruka hated this. He has already seen the little girl suffer so much, and that's when he makes his decision. That's when he makes the choice of her happiness over others. And that prompted him to say that particular line of who cares if we can't see any sunshine? I want you more than any blue sky. Both of them have suffered a lot, but now they deserve happiness. So basically summing up, it's not right to say that Haruka was selfish and because of his selfish nature he destroys Tokyo. That event was bound to happen. Moreover, Shinkai as a director included this plot as a reference to the real world problems of global warming. It is estimated that in the next 50 to 100 years, many coastal cities across the world, including Tokyo, will be submerged underwater because of the rising water level. Anyway, back to the movie. In the end, as Taki's grandmother said, the natural cycle is being restored to the city, and it was actually no one's fault. In the end, it was a sweet ending, as the lovers finally get to reunite as Tokyo evolves in this new setting. Now the comparisons to Your Name are obvious, and that will definitely happen. But saying that Haruka was selfish in comparison to Taki is actually wrong allegory. I feel that since the characters were not that much developed because of the lack of family or backstory, people were not able to understand the decisions taken by Haruka and Hina in the movie. Now I'm not saying that this movie is not without any faults, nor am I saying that this is the best movie of all time. If you ask me one-on-one, then I'd probably say that I prefer Your Name over Weathering with You. But that's because both these movies are quite different. Tenki no Ko is a lot deeper and darker while threading in many serious real-world issues, so it deserves credit for that. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Mention your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like, I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to watch more of my content, then make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Facebook. Links are in the description below. As always, this is Wonder WhyZ, and I'll see you soon in the next one.